Bull senior co-host Nicholson. The show is Strike Force News coming out of Alternative Public Radio International. If you want to check our website out, it's all lowercase alternativepublicradiointernational.com. We're streaming live from Restream on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and soon to be many more. So you guys tune in, be sure and share the show, hit the like button if there are any, and use our embed code to stream live from some of your platforms and pages and groups, and encourage your friends to do the same. Really appreciate all of our fans and supporters out there, and just sit back and enjoy the show. Thank you all very much, and we'll turn it over to the live show now. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, 6:02 p.m. on the Northwest Pacific clock. 6, what is it? 6/2/2023 already. Wow, amazing. The second. That's amazing. Talked to my beautiful, beautiful daughter today. She's having some problems. We're working out, but aren't we all having problems? My God, it's really kind of silly for me to say that and point any one individual out with any problem when you look at the mess that we're in around the world right now and all the things that are going on. It's just it's outrageous. It's crazy. It's insane. What's happening? It's boggles my mind. And you all my fans out there that have been with me for years, know that it's not easy to boggle my mind, but I'm boggled. I am boggled and diswoggled and glazed, dazed, and amazed, and I'm shocked and awe, man, at this whole thing that's going on. It's a twisted sister, I tell you. And we've got all of this propaganda coming out of Russia and China and Taiwan and the United States and NATO and all of these other surrounding countries, Syria and Israel, and I just you can't even believe what you see, and you can't half of what you hear, and just the rest is probably a lie anyway. It's all misinformation, disinformation, and it's just something that's driving all of us who are geopolitically savvy and who geopolitical analysis crazy, because we used to actually get some real on the ground news when there were real journalists and real investigative journalism going on. We did have that back when Cronkite and Dan Rather, my buddy Dan Rather, was around, and it's not happening anymore. It's just not happening anymore. And this boggles my mind. It literally boggles my mind. I've talked to news reporters here in the Northwest, and they're all a bunch of airheads. They're just airheads. I've talked to them. They're running around, scared to death of their news director. They're scared to death of the brass, as they call it. They have to get permission to go to the bathroom. They have to get permission to turn their cameras on and turn their cameras off. They have to look at the news board. It's all chosen by some upper intelligence agency coming down to the news director, like it was in the old days. Just when all this started happening, I was getting out of mainstream journalism, and it was happening then. We were getting told what stories to pull and what stories to do, and that was going around to all of the other media agencies, and everybody was talking about the same thing. Y'all have seen the videos on YouTube where these guys have pulled up 100 different media outlets all saying the same exact thing in the same exact way with the same exact gestures, the same exact time, which is weird. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. There's no independent journalism anymore. There's no true investigative forensic analysis reporting going on anymore. And I can't tell you why. There's so much fear in employees. There's so much fear in the lower echelon of media. They're all terrified of their bosses, the big brass up there in the boardroom, and they're all trying to pay bills just like we all are, and they all have children to take care of and mortgages to pay and car payments and gas and water and electric and this and that and the other, and they're just trying to keep their jobs. So I guess they're just boonswoggled into just doing any kind of goddamn fake news that they tell them to do. And I just can't see how anybody could do that. Now there have been some people that have jumped out of that and said, "Hell, to hell with it. I'm not going to be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it by these upper brass knuckleheads. I'm going to go out and start my own media, which is here. Chad and I are here doing. That's what we're doing. I mean, we've started our own outlet. I've had mine for 20 years. Chad's had his 5 years. Now we've combined our networks together, which is what we really are hoping that other people will come in with us. Chad and I have a hard time finding anyone with two brain cells to rub together, and that's, I don't know. That's just a part of the culture today. It's a part of the thing that's going on with the mind control and the fluoride and the toxins and the chemicals and the preservatives and the mind control technologies and the propaganda and misinformation, disinformation, and all of the other shit that's out there in the environment. And I can't explain it. I wish I could. It's a multiplex of things. It's a barrage of information coming in from all directions, and none of it can be trusted. None of it can be even vetted. They've got it like these massive corporations now, where you can't even tell BlackRock where they're at, what bank they bank at. You can't tell what company owns what company owns what company owns what company owns what company. I was talking to a couple of Security Exchange Commission agents, and they said, "Well, hell, we can't even figure this shit out anymore. Who owns what?" And that's it. When you have SEC agents talking like that, that's bad. When you have FBI agents that are scratching their head trying to find out who's the lead cartel guy at the top of the BlackRock, totem pole, then you got problems. I mean, you really got problems. I mean, look at Donald Trump. You look at his circle of corporations. Go on the internet and look at Donald Trump's circle of corporations. It'll make you sick, like you've been on a fast roller coaster. I mean, it's unbelievable what this guy owns. I don't see how he keeps up with any of it. I don't see how Elon Musk keeps up with anything. Elon owns thousands and thousands of things that you all don't even know about that exist. He's not just SpaceX, and he's not just putting chips in people's heads and experimenting with goats and sheep. He owns thousands of corporations, and he's probably one of the richest men in the world. And so it's very confusing, to there's no method to the madness anymore. There was in the 70s and 80s, as I always talk about, there seemed to be some method to the madness. There seemed to be some methodology going on, something you could actually track and trace, and something you could actually believe in, if you will. Like, oh, this is happening. I see why this is happening, and these people are against it, and these people are for it. Well, nowadays you don't know what the hell's you don't know who's for what, who's for when, who's for where. You don't know if the good side is really the bad side or the bad side is really the good side. You have no idea anymore. It's all a big psyop. It's all a big psyop, and this makes it very difficult for people like Chad and I to do a story, because we're like, well, what should we have meetings before the show, and it's like, well, what should we do with this? It's like, he's like, I don't know. What do we do with it? And I'm like, well, let's just dig a little deeper, and then we'll use our imagination, comes from experience, and our gumshoe days, detective days, and let's just use our intuition and our experience and our hardline investigative uh, prowess to go in there and try to get the story as right as possible. That's all we can do, is touch the edge of these stories. Chad, would you like to talk a little bit about how difficult it is nowadays to newsroom and put these things together and try to figure out what the hell is going on and then relay it to other people?
Yeah, it's actually one of the hardest parts of the job. It used to be an investigation was the hardest part of the job, and now it's you gotta the investigation has completely went south. It's you'll get an article from here, or you'll get some intel from here, then you'll pretty much immediately get an intel of the complete opposite coming from here, and you don't know which way to go. And it's like everybody's in on it. everybody's in on giving out all this disinformation, and it's hard to vet what's going on. And especially when we're trying to put our name and reputation out there on this stuff, it's hard to even give you like dates, times that when the events are going to happen, because it's literally evolving every second. Um, I guarantee you what we heard just probably about a half hour, 45 minutes ago before we got on air, something's changed since then. We have multiple meetings a day. And every time we have a meeting, the information pretty much changes every single meeting we have. It's a revolving door of just insanity when it comes to information, and you have to vet every little piece, and it's very daunting. It's a tough job, man. It's tough.
I guess the only thing we do have going for us is my years as an operative and agent and private contractor, and making all of the wonderful contacts that I did while I was undercover all of those years, and working with all of these different entities and agencies and agents and operatives, and learning how to, get people to trust me enough to where we do get sent, let me say, very, I can't use the other word, very sensitive, very highly sensitive information, that is straight from the horse's mouth. And so that's the only thing Chad really and I have going for us, is those sources. And a lot of my sources have been assassinated. Some have been killed mysteriously. Some have just committed suicide. Some have left the country and left me holding the bag, and others have gone underground. And so I'm kind of getting scared. I'm losing my board of advisors, and that's getting really scary. And as I was telling Chad, the Canadian thing with Trudeau, now he's shut down all the free speech up there. You can go to jail up there. You can go, to an institution, mental institution. You can be fined for going against the government narrative or the parliamentary narrative at all. And then that's coming straight here to the United States. You're not going to be able to talk about this. You're not going to be able to talk about that. Oh, you can talk about it all you want to, but they're going to demonetize you. They're going to cut you off. They're going to shut you off. They just signed a bill, as a matter of fact. I'm not going to go into it tonight, where they can actually just chop your head off, just chop you off, just turn the whole goddamn thing off, all your internet, all of your shows, all of your platforms, everything, just shut it down. And that's perfectly okay. And that's what's coming, folks. And I'm here to tell you tonight, Chad and I, we're going to talk about this, what is coming, and we can tell you what is coming. Chad and I are very smart, we're very intuitive, and we know what's going on. We know what's coming, and they're getting ready to cut all of you off. You're not going to have anybody to talk to, and you're not going to have anybody to relate to. You're not going to be able to have an intelligent, intuitive, mature, intellectually driven discussion anymore. It's just not going to happen. And they do not want people pairing up like Chad and I and grouping up with other people to start a news agency. Like when CNN first started, they were the cat's meow, and then the CIA bought them out. And then ESPN started. Oh, the CIA bought them out, and then here comes the streaming of Congress, over there, and that's all just prop. All you're listening to is bullshit, 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 24 hours a day. Then we have the Weather Channel, went 24 hours. I was freaked out, and everybody was freaked out in the old days. Oh my God, the weather's going to be on 24 hours a day. Who the hell would watch that? Well, guess what? It was a top rated show and still is. People sit around and watch the weather all day. Can you all figure that out? I can't, Jed. What's the hell?
Yeah.
What's the deal? Would you ever think? Well, you're not old as I am, but in the old days, we would have thought that was the most ridiculous idea in the world. And now it's a 24-hour station.
Yeah. Um, it makes no sense. It just goes to show, as we've discussed, people only have the mind capacity of goldfish, 15 to 20 seconds. That's all they can keep their attention span up. And that, if you notice, the weather changes every 10 and a half seconds, not 10
Yeah,
seconds, 10 and a half seconds. And
yeah.
it's on a cycle, and they know this. And it's sad because I say it's part of their dumbing down program.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. And I guess cosmologically speaking, astrologically speaking, and meteorologically speaking, we have gotten very interesting with the weather. Now they can do things with the technology that's going on. The graphics have gotten better. The reporting has gotten better. We have NOAA working there. We have the oceanic organizations over here working. We have all the buoys out in the ocean now that are computerized. We have all of the satellite sensors going on that surround the globe. And then we have all of the underground sensors checking out the tectonic plate movement, and they're in conjunctionally connected to all of the main computers and the CRT. So it's much more interesting to watch the weather now. It's almost like watching a blockbuster movie now. So they've made it interesting. They've made it exciting. They've made it colorful. Everything's moving. Everything's popping. They're changing, like you said, from piece to piece to piece to piece. And that's what the brain wants to see is change, 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 change. So it works. Whatever they're doing is working. And then, of course, they're not talking about, HARP, and they're not talking about the ionization process. They're not talking about the selenium and the barium and the strontium and all of the other chemtrail situations very much. Now, some weather guys have come out and started talking about the chemtrails. Congress, for those of you who still doubt chemtrails, which there are millions of you that still doubt that, oh, they're contrails, they're water vapor. No, this has gone before Congress, and they have fully admitted. Y'all just didn't see it. They fully admitted over and over and over and over and over again that they are spraying us like roaches. They've come out and just said it, and they're experimenting with the population, global population. And if y'all haven't seen that, then I'm sorry, you're dumb as a box of rocks. And I'm sorry, you're dumb as a box of rocks. I can't understand why people are not interested in these very highly important issues that deal with your children and grandchildren. They're poisoning your children and grandchildren. They're poisoning your grandmothers and grandfathers. They're spraying us like roaches, with Raid. And they're killing us from the air. They're killing us from the ground. They're killing us from the ocean. They're killing us from the rivers and the streams and the brooks. And they're killing us with the food. They're killing us with the drink. They're killing us with the voice to skull technology. They're killing us with the pathogens. They're killing us with the bioweapons. They're killing us with the propaganda, misinformation, disinformation. They're killing us. And everybody's like out here, over here, playing dominoes right now. I'm watching them play dominoes, and they're flying a kite. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I guess Chad and I'll just go fly a fucking kite or something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Everybody has been affected, and like Chad and I said the other night, there's a few of us who have been chosen to be here. I'm not talking about like Jesus, but I'm talking about we've been chosen in some way to be here and to perform this mission that we're on and have been on. Me for 25 years, Chad for several years. We're just here. We're doing our thing. We're putting it all out, and we're using all of our experience and all of our passion to get the story out as user friendly as possible as we can. Sometimes we do higher level doctorate level shows. I am getting my doctorate, times two actually eventually, but well, sometimes they're pretty high level shows, and we have a lot of folks that do tune in, my graduate students and others from Quora and other groups. And then we do some lower grade, middle of the road shows, intermediate. But it's tough. Like you said, it's very tough. And what we're here to talk about tonight, I think, really is the major cultural, social, psychosocial, cultural, uh, financial major changes that are coming, and your way of life is just going to be turned completely upside down, and nobody's really ready for it because everybody's uneducated and everybody is not looking at what we're looking at. We're all perceiving things in a different way, from a different direction, coming from a different experience and a different educational level and intellectual level. So it's very difficult to get everybody on the same page. If we could get everybody on the same page, we could reprogram this thing, and we could restructure, reorganize, realign, and we could attack this thing, this monster, this dragon, this machine, this AI. We could attack it, but we can't. Unfortunately, they've got us all so screwed up, and they've manipulated our minds so much that nobody can get together. Everybody hates each other. Everybody's paranoid of each other. Everybody's don't nobody trusts each other. Men don't trust women. Women don't trust men. Children don't trust their parents. Parents don't trust their children. Neighbors don't trust their neighbors. It's crazy. So how in the hell are we going to get anybody together to go against the dragon or the monster if we can't get on the same page and agree that there's a problem? And then when we agree there's a problem, what is the problem? Nobody knows which problem to attack first because there's 100,000 things coming at us. What do we pick? So Chad and I talked about that. What do you pick? What do you target? Chad and I are both like, oh my God, this is a hard question, right,
Yeah, it
Chad?
is. That's the $1 million question. If you know how you label that, like metaphorically, that's the $1 million question. With all of the implementations that they've put on us and all the die off that they're doing to us, which one do we fight first? And that's another thing that keeps a lot of people on the bench because they don't know which battle to pick. And that's just it. Like we can talk all we want, but where do we start?
Well, Chad and I, we kind of rub elbows with the International Fugitive Recovery Division, and we're international fugitive recovery agents, and we do that from the computer. I'm too old to get out in the field anymore and fly around the world and arrest people and kill people and blow up stuff, and I can't do that anymore like 007. And so I'm stuck here at the computer, on the dark web for the last 4.5 years, going deeper and deeper and deeper and finding out what's going on with all of my operatives around the world and getting as deep as I can into MI5 and MI6 and Interpol and trying to go through the back door of the DOD and the DOJ and the Pentagon and Council on Foreign Relations and Davos and trying to dig into the complexities of the World Economic Forum and all of these other, organizations that are bringing in Agenda 21, Agenda 30, Agenda 50, and those that are bringing in the transhumanistic paradigm, the new event horizon here, the singularity, if you will, the fifth industrial revolution. Here we are at World War III. Here we are in World War III. You can't tell anybody that. Some of my friends say World War IV, six, but that's another story I don't want to get into tonight. World War III, I'll just call it World War III. We are in World War III. People have no idea that we're in this war. We're in this war right now. This is a psychological war. This is a psyop. This is a silent weapons war. And if it goes, it doesn't even have to go kinetic. It doesn't even have to go direct. It's going to kill us anyway. It's going to destroy you. And let me get back to what I was saying. The show is about tonight. How your life is about to change. And speaking of change, it's not going to be in your pocket anymore. Dollar bills are not going to be in your pocket anymore. CBDC is here, and it's coming. And the central bank digital coin, surveillance coin, is what it is. It's a surveillance. It's a digital surveillance currency, is what it is. Basically, digital surveillance currency, a DSC, and it goes along with the ESG, and it goes along with the World Economic Forum agenda to bring in the new world order, the new world currency, the new world religion, and the new world government, and the new world education system, and the new world religion, and the new world medical system, and now the World Health Organization has officially taken over all aspects of the military, industrial complex, the deep state, the dark state, all infrastructure in every state, every city, every town, every country in the world. Our constitutions have been abolished, our Bill of Rights have been abolished, and Chad and I are so far above the fray, we can't hardly talk to anybody on air because people will come on air and start talking something that's so antiquated it needs to be in a museum, and we don't have time for that. We need to talk to people who are in the know. They're in the know. They've got this higher consciousness and they've got this higher awareness and this deep, dark, wide, broad, intense experience. And it's hard to find people like that. So that's why we don't have very many guests coming on here because they bore me to tears within 4 minutes. I can bye bye. I don't have time for this. So here we are. You'll have to listen to us. And your world is getting ready to change drastically also because of the social credit score. They're going to take all of your social media that you've done since Pong, since Blue Screen, since Bulletin Board, and for all of you that understand what I'm talking about, all you old fogies, they're going to take all of your information from MySpace and Bulletin Board and Pong, and they're going to have all that in the computer. It's all in the computer. Everything you've ever said, everything you've ever done, every action you've ever taken, every email you've ever put out, every chat that you've ever done, every Zoom you've ever done, every Skype meeting you've ever done, every Skype group you've ever been in, everything you've ever PM'd or DM'd is all there in the computer. It's mastered hundreds of trillions, millions, and trillions of bits of information. This new AI has read every book in the world that ever existed, and some that you didn't even know existed. Um, and it downloaded the Library of Congress in about 22 seconds. If that tells you how smart this son of a bitch is, and so it can spit anything out in the Library of Congress in about 4 to 6 seconds. And we're talking about Alexandria here, the library at Alexandria. Well, it's probably got some of that going on too, and it has downloaded all graphics, all pictures, all text, all movies. It's downloaded all formulas, all calculations, all symbology, all numerology. It's downloaded every hypothesis and every theory that's ever come across in philosophy, conceptual philosophy, cosmology, astrophysics. It's mastered space. It's mastered the terrestrial. It's mastered the underground. It's mastered everything. So, folks, it may scare you. It may sound crazy. You may be ready to hang up, but that's the way it is. That's a fact. You're insignificant. You're not needed anymore. You remember the commercial? I'm sorry, Susie, but we're going to have to let you go. We're computerizing. Y'all remember that commercial? Well, that was they've computerized, all right, and they don't need you anymore. Your job is going to be insignificant, all of you. Doctors are already losing their jobs to computers. Nurses, practitioners are losing their job to computers. Pharmacists are losing their job to computers. Pharmacy techs are losing their job to computers. Bankers are losing their job to computers. Computers are taking over the justice system, the courtrooms. They're becoming judges. They're becoming prosecutors. They're becoming defense attorneys. They're becoming clerks. They're becoming bailiffs. They're becoming police. RoboCop is on the street now. They've got you wherever you go. They're listening to you. They're monitoring every move you make. They're monitoring your psycho profile, your physiological profile, your anatomical profile. They're monitoring your psychosocial profile, and they know every single thing about you in the world. They've got hundreds of thousands of bits of information on you right down to the atom, and they're listening to you on your computer. They're listening to you on your phone. They're listening to you on Alexa. They're listening to you on your smart Apple Watch. They're listening to you, engaging your responses from the helmet you're wearing in the metaverse. Everything, everything, everything. Millions and millions and millions of people are getting ready to go home and lose their jobs. What are you going to do? That's what Chad and I are here. What are you going to do when you get home? Are you ready to go home? Are you ready to live in the smart city where you can't go 15 to 20 minutes away without getting a permit and you have to ride a bicycle or a jackass or a little red wagon? They're not going to let you drive your car. And based on your social credit score and your CBDC, you might be able to buy a chicken or a ribeye steak this week, and you might not. They may tell you, no, you've had too many ribeye steaks, you've had too many chickens. So you're going to be told what to wear, what to buy, where to go, you're going to be told what kind of travel you can make or not make, what kind of transportation you can use. You're going to be told how to treat your children, how to educate your children. You're going to be told how to finance, how to bank, and you're no more critical thinking, no more independent thinking, no more sovereignty. Okay, it's over, done, finished, kaputs. Um, some of you may say, "Boy, you're really putting it on us tonight, Kyler." I tell you what. Well, you know what? I ain't finished yet, and Chad's not finished yet. It's going to get
Nope.
10,000 times worse than what I'm saying right now, and we haven't even got to the war yet. We haven't even got to the nuclear yet. We haven't touched on the electromagnetic pulse or the solar pulse that's going to knock this country's grid out and shoot us back to the 17th century. We haven't even touched on the tectonic plate movement or Yellowstone erupting or another volcano that we're near here erupting, or the tsunami, 100-foot wave tsunami that's going to come in and destroy everything and turn every building and every skyscraper on the ocean into toothpicks. Chad, you want to take over?
Don't forget about the 1,000 mile an hour winds at the equator.
With the Earth tilt, yeah, that's going
Yeah,
on. People don't realize the Earth's tilted 33.6 degrees, and if they're expecting it, if it goes sideways, we're going to have 1,000-mile-an-hour winds. We're going to have earthquakes. We're going to have volcanoes. We're going to have tsunamis. We're going to have hell, literal
yeah.
hell. People say, "Oh, that can't happen. That can't happen." It's already happened 10 million zillion times.
Yeah, it's
We
happened
we
numerous
just happen
times.
to be we just happen to be a little bit tilted up right now. I mean, it's happened zillions and zillions of times, and if you look back, Pythagoras, I mean, he discovered the wobble of the Earth, and that's where it started. And we started looking into this and found out, well, that wobble has something to do with gravity. Gravity has something to do with the turning of the Earth, and so every 126,000 years, this happens. So get used to it. This
Yeah,
is
and
it's time right now. It's time for that. So,
yeah, and as me and you discussed a lot about the ancients, you had the Hopis that talked about the blue Kachina, which is the other sun, the Egyptians that talked about the other sun, the Mayans, the Aztecs. They all talk about a terrestrial body that's coming in that would upset the balance of the earth. And this is what we're seeing right now. We are 1 degrees warmer than the coldest the earth has ever been. We are 1.5 degrees colder than the hottest the world has ever been, people. Do you not understand how quick this can tip? It's not like it's, oh, it was cold then and it's not cold now. Listen, 1 degree globally can change everything. And that's where we're at. We are literally barely warmer than the coldest point in history, and we are barely cooler than the hottest point in history. And what we've seen throughout archaeology that during the hot periods of times, that's when all the volcanic activities are happening. That's when the tectonic plates are shifting. That's when the earth is, changing its the pole shift, as they call it. Um, but that's what's going on, and we're seeing it. It's what is it? The North Pole like travels how many? What is it? Like over 30 feet a year? Like
yeah,
it's moving 30 feet a year from the center.
yeah, something
Like
like that.
people, that's a lot. That's a lot to sit and think about. As it tips over, that's your Earth tipping over. As your North Pole is running from the North Pole, that's because the Earth is tipping over inside of the poles, and that's when bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, many bad things are going to happen, and I want to tell you all that you will not own anything under this new plan, and you don't own anything now. By the way, it's impossible. People in the United States, they say, "I own my property." No, you don't. Read your lease. You're a leasee. You're not an owner. It's impossible to own property in the United States. It's impossible to own your car. People say, "I paid my car off." I'm like, "No, you don't. This car doesn't belong to you. Sorry." You registered it. When you registered your car, you gave it away. When you registered your land with a title deed, you gave it away. So it's not nothing is yours. You don't own anything. You don't even own your kids. You shouldn't own your kids, but you don't control your kids. The state does. They can come take your kids away anytime they want to. They don't even have to reason. They don't have to reason. They can make up a reason. Any reason now. Chad can tell you that we've been studying this new WHO document, which we are going to put out. I promise over the next few days. We got a lot going on. But they've changed the definition of pandemic now. They're adding mental health in. So now, if you have a sneeze or a cold or something, oh, pandemic, get shots. My God, he's sneezing. Oh, we got to. It's going to be contagious. Shut all the airports down. Shut all the train stations down. Shut everything down. Shut the ports down. Oh my God, there's mental illness in this community and it's spreading. We have to get the National Guard in there and quarantine everyone and lock them up. Am I telling the truth, Chad? We read it. I mean, I read it to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely does really hit about the mental, pandemic, and we're seeing it right now. People, let's be real about it. We have people with identity issues. We have schizophrenics that are running around. Um, the medical industry, mental health is not taking any more new patients. Really, they're actually taking people off. The insurance companies aren't paying for people to get their medications or treatments anymore. This really is a true pandemic that's going on, that is like the unspoken words, but we can look outside and we can see the disillusion that mental illness has created. And if you don't see that they can easily label that as a pandemic, then you might want to do a little bit more research on what's going on, because it's here in your face
Um,
and they're pushing
um,
for it.
and they've marked out. Chad and I have. Well, Chad hasn't got a chance. He's been so busy. We're doing separate research right now. But I'm going to show him and get with him. We're going to have a meeting. They've marked out sovereignty. They've marked out individuality. They've marked out critical thinking. They've marked out all of the freedoms in the documents. They've just marked through them. just lying through them. Well, there's a super pen, just lying through that. Oh, I don't like that. No. Oh, no, no, we can't have any independent thinking. Oh, no, we can't have any individuality. Oh, no, we can't have any of that. Liberty. Oh, no, we can't have any liberty. They've just marked through everything that was once good. And the new director general of the WHO, Carreras or whatever his freaking name is over there, the god of the world, is taking over everything, and you can't talk back to this guy. He's the god. He's God. He's the omnipotent one. Nobody can talk back to this guy. He's in charge of everybody. He's in charge of everything. And if he wants to shut a country down, he'll just shut a country down. And if he wants to shut a town down, he'll shut a town down. If he wants to shut a city down, he'll shut a city down. County, city, town, township, doesn't matter. Country, it doesn't matter. If he wants to shut the whole goddamn world down, all he has to do is make one phone call. Now, I know some of you are thinking that we're on drugs and that Chad and I need to be in behavioral health probably tonight. And, some little truck needs to come and pick us up and troll us off. But you can look all this stuff up yourself. I'm not going to babysit you. It's all right there in front of you. Just Google it. I mean, they're not hiding it. They're not hiding it. This doesn't, this part of a show didn't come from my top secret sources. It came from the internet. And it's all there for you to see, folks. It's all there for you to see. You're just too goddamn lazy to look it up. And they've shut down our, like I said, our constitutions, nil and void, our Bill of Rights, nil and void. And like I said, you're not even going to own your clothes. They don't want you to own your shoes. They don't want you to own your car. They don't want you to own your house. You're not going to be able to own anything. You're not even going to buy a cord of wood for your fireplace. These people, they want to control every single element every atom. They've said it. They want to control and will control and have control and are control every atom in the universe. They want to control, and they want to mark everyone. They're going to mark all of you and put you on the blockchain. You're going to be put on the blockchain like the slaves in Libya they're selling right now still. You're going to be put on the blockchain as a slave, and you're going to be up for sale to the highest handler, the highest bidder, which is a handler on the new world stock market. And they're going to blockchain you, which means they're going to use you as chattel. They're going to use you as capital, and they're going to use you in trade and barter, and they're going to use you as a financial instrument like they have been since the beginning when you got your birth certificate. They've been using you over there at Dun and Bradstreet and Wall Street. They've been trading your social security number and your cuspid number on Wall Street. Now they're going to be trading you in a way that you've never even imagined before. You could have never comprehended before. They're going to be trading you based on your human behavior, your psycho profile, your digital imprint, your climate imprint. How many carbon footprints did you leave this week? They're starting, if you look at your food now, they're putting the carbon footprint of this food on the packages now. They're going to be putting it on you next, and they're going to be punishing you or rewarding you based on this new psychosocial stratification analysis system. Chad?
Yeah. Get ready to rumble, basically. I mean, I mean, kind of an ignorant way to put it, but it's the truth. If you ever watched the Hunger Games, that's exactly what they're pushing for. The Hunger Games was only a two-class society. You had the upper class and then the nothing class, and the nothing class did all the work, and they were punished. And nobody in the Hunger Game could own anything. They had to slave for any little bit that they got, and that's where we're at. And that's what they're bringing in. We're going to see cash disappear within the next 2 years. Like next 2 years, cash is going to end up phasing out like it ain't nothing, and everybody's going to act like it's oh, it's still okay because I can still use my bank card. I still got cash. And they don't even understand what cash really is. Cash is just a piece of paper. Like it's like 16 cents to make $100 bill anyway. So that $100 bill in your pocket's only worth 16 cents. But they got you believing that it's worth more, and that's what they're going to do now. If you don't do what they say, like how me and Kiler right now are on the internet talking about this, well, they're not going to let us have steaks this week. They're not going to let us shop at, Amazon or go anywhere. They're not going to let us buy nothing. They're going to tell us, oh, nope, you are a bad citizen. You don't get this. And this is how it's going to be, people. Imagine if you need emergency surgery. Was you a good enough citizen for you to have that surgery? Or since you did wrong, are they just going to let you die off? Well, we already know the answer to that. If you're not a good citizen, they're going to let you die off. And that's what's going to end up happening. Everybody's just going to die because they're not going to be good citizens. And the ones that do become the good citizens, they're complete slaves.
Yeah, they are. They are. And speaking of slaves, um, we've got people falling in love with their executive AI assistants now, and they're falling deeply in love with their AI assistants. And men are falling in love with these female assistants. Women are falling in love with these male assistants, and they're actually getting married to their robots. Started in Japan, moved its way around Southeast Asia, and now up toured all around South America, now California, and people are marrying their robots. And this is a real thing. And they're taking them to the karaoke bars with them, and they're getting married in churches, and getting married in Buddhist temples, and it's just the weirdest fucking thing in the world. And people are falling in love. They'd rather talk to their chat bot than a real person. They'd rather talk to a chat bot. They'd rather make love to a chat bot. And super sex is coming. Your super sex uh, bot will not have any inhibitions. There will be no inhibitions whatsoever. There will be nothing to fear. You will be able to get your chatbot to do anything and that you want it to do. If you wanted it to chew its fingers off, if you were into that kind of thing, or chew its tongue off, it would do it. If you wanted it to, whatever you want it to do, it will do, and it will turn you on with all of your fetishes, all of your kinky stuff, all of your perversions. This is going to open up a whole new revolution of sex,
Oh, yeah.
and women and men both are going to get kind of left out of the loop because men are hard to deal with, women are hard to deal with, but your chatbot, it's always perfect. It loves you. It knows all about you. It knows about you from the very beginning of your birth when you first fell off the table. It knows all about you. It knows everything about you. And it is going to manipulate you to the maximum degree possible. And you're going to fall for every bit of it. You're going to fall for every bit of it. Executive CEOs right now are firing their administrative executive secretaries because the chatbot can do what the administrative secretary could do in 5 hours. The chatbot can do in 5 seconds. And as far as scheduling, they can schedule your motels, your hotels, your flights, your bus trips, your limousines, your chauffeurs, your army, your private security in 23 seconds and have it all scheduled, called, faxed, pungered, and mungered and bungered and done. Over. And your executive assistants you were paying $45 an hour to, get rid of them. Why the fuck do you need them when you can get a fucking administrative chatbot free? Or you might want to pay $40 a month and get a really smart one. I mean, my God, let's don't get one with 3 quadrillion bits of data going through its head. Let's get that 6 quadrillion bit one, and let's just have sex with that one too, and go ahead and get married, and go ahead and take a vacation with it, and put it in the metaverse with me, and I'll just get a piece of property in the metaverse, and you can take trips now with your sex bot, and you can lay out there on the island sipping a mai tai naked, and oh my God, I mean, people, and eventually they're saying right now, the best scientists in the world are saying that you will not be able to distinguish in 2 more years. You will not be able to distinguish this reality, which is an illusion anyway, from that reality. You won't even know. Chad and I mentioned this last night. I didn't mean to bring it up, Chad, tonight again, but you won't be able to distinguish this reality from that reality, and most people would prefer that other reality because it's a utopia. It's a perfect space and place. You don't want to come back here. You're going to want to stay there, and some of you have the money. You're going to pay Elon Musk or some agency or entity or offshoot of this new occipital technology that they're using, this new melding with the Borg, this new transhumanistic thing. You're going to pay them to overload you, I call it, sideload you, overload you, download you, upload you, whatever, into the metaverse. and just leave you there. And you'll just be sitting in some room somewhere in some pod with tubes running in your nose and an intubation tube down your throat, and you'll have maybe a feeding tube in. I don't know what they're going to do. Put some kind of green plasma in your blood like they're doing in China now. And you'll just be living in the metaverse, and your flesh will be here. What you call flesh will just be here on this table somewhere in this morgue table that's slid into a freezer. And they'll maybe put you in some state of suspended animation, and you'll just live in the metaverse. Isn't that weird? Yeah, but that's here. That's here. That's it. That's here.
Yeah. If people research, there's a guy that's literally lived every single day for over a year inside the metaverse. He goes to bed with his metaverse on. He wakes up in the metaverse. Like, this man doesn't leave the metaverse. Um, you ever see the Matrix where they're all sitting in pods? You know, that's what it reminds me of what's going to happen with everybody in the metaverse. They're all just going to get in this pod and they're all going to sit there and have this vivid imagination, you know, that's going on of a false reality that's being created by an AI technology that think that they're, you know, at a beach sipping a Mai Tai watching, you know, beautiful men and women running around them. You know, that's what they're going to think's going on when they haven't even left from where they're sitting at. And that's a scary thing because you're not going to feel what's going on in this realm. So whatever they're doing to your body or doing to you, you're not going to have any clue because your mind's going to be attached to the meta.
I'll tell you something else very interesting is right now there are companies opening all over the world that are taking your dead relatives who were very active on social media or not very active, let's just say medium active. They're turning them into a complete personality, reanimating them as they were, and letting you talk to them on social media, both in person and on text. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is kinky to say the least. I mean, this is weird. I mean, you can resurrect your former wife, and she's back with you now, and you're just going to live with her and talk to her here, and then you might be able to pretty soon go into the metaverse with her and actually sit with her and just dine with her. And that's where we're going with all of this, and that's something y'all might not have known, but that's already happening right now. They're already reanimating people. And they're doing this with holograms. They're doing this with concerts. Jad had mentioned all the concerts they're doing. Elvis Presley's back. Michael Jackson's back. All these people, and they're having concerts. And people like the AI concerts better than they do the real thing. They'd rather see the concert because it's technology. It's magic. It's weird. Look at this. Oh my God. And so BB King, if he dies, they'll just resurrect him, keep him alive for the next 10,000 years in the metaverse, and you can live 10,000 years in the metaverse. And by the way, some people with chronic diseases are going to choose to be a physician assisted suicide, and they're going to just put their brain in the metaverse and just leave them there. I'll let y'all think about that one tonight yourself, because that's happening right now. That's been happening, by the way. I said anything Chad and I talk about here is 100,000 times worse. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Now think about it, people. Now, it's going to be to the point to where you'll be able to go into a factory, men or woman, doesn't matter. You'll be able to go into a factory and a celebrity that you're obsessed with or a person you're obsessed with, you're going to be able to get that personality downloaded into this person for yourself. This person's going to be all yours. You can either do it in the metaverse or in physical reality. But everybody's going to head towards the metaverse because it's going to be cheaper, if you get what I'm saying. It's going to be cheaper because you're going to get the same, if not more, dopium hits going through the metaverse than you are in real life stimulation. And this is where they're going to draw us at. They're going to make us work for our dopium hits because the human brain automatically wants dopium hits. This is what makes the human brain like tick and tick. It makes you want to do what you want to do from the dopium hits. So once you get a taste of the metaverse, it's going to be dopium hit overload. People are going to literally be 100% addicted almost instantaneously to it. And that's the scary part. That is a very, very, very scary part because we see all the people today with addictive personalities. We call them zombies that are roaming the streets. all those same kind of people are going to be addicted to the metaverse. They're going to get the same dopium hits as the drugs did. And you can't deny, we see it on the streets every day with all the drugs. So how can you deny the metaverse? It's going to do even more dopium hits than that.
Well, guess what they have done? They have removed Dr. Rima Lebeau in her in depth analysis and report of the nefarious plans of the World Health Organization that I and you reported on last night. Now, I want to tell you something, buddy. This is scary. 30,000 people have got a hold of that beforehand, thank goodness. I'm looking at the embeds, 63.8 thousand and 78 comments out of 63.8 thousand. That doesn't make any sense. That looks like a fake number to me. Hagman report, if you all want to look Hagman up, it's a great report, Hagmann report. He has 30.8 thousand followers, and that's on Rumble. And your computer, I just got this pulled up from my dark web. I just did a transfer on my EPS system. This is actually working. Oh my God, what's going on? This is scary. Oh, they've taken away my CC on this. Wait a minute. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, okay, I got it. Okay. I've shot it back out there. They're gonna kill me. They're probably gonna come and get me tonight in the white van. It's back out there now at Rumble. You can find it at Hagman Report. That was 6 days ago. It's called Urgent Report. Dr. Rima, Rima, Libo, Laibow, Laibow, the nefarious plans of the World Health Organization. This will actually give you the documents. This will actually give you the numbers of the documents and all of the subsections and sections in this document of the World Health Organization, and it will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt every single thing that Chad and I have been talking about. Every single thing we have been talking about. Okay. Um, it'll prove it beyond the shadow of a doubt. And I want you guys to take a look at it because it is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And it's, I'm not sure how long this is. It's an hour and 17 minutes long. And I'm getting ready to drop it right now. Chad, believe it or not, I like to surprise him every once in a while. Chad's probably excited that I found this. I'm dropping this in Chad's box right now.
Yeah, drop it in a private message between us. Oh, nope, I'll go
Yeah,
through Facebook. That
I
works.
got it. I got it. There it is for
All right,
you.
all right.
And I'm going to go ahead and drop it on my Facebook. And boy, Facebook hates Rumble, but you know, fuck them. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to blow your mind. I mean, it's going to blow you completely away when you hear this. You're gonna come back to Chad and I and say, you know, you guys sounded a little crazy, but now I'm convinced. I've read it for myself. It's been signed. It's been done. It's over. So I'm glad I found that tonight, Chad.
Yeah, I'm dropping it as well on my platforms, people. So if you're watching me on Facebook, YouTube, any of that, I'll be dropping it in the comments. So you're going to see it over here in the right. Well, if you're in this chat with us, but yeah,
And Doctor Rima, let me tell you, cats, this is one of the smartest women in the universe. Okay, this is one of the smartest women in the universe. Okay, this woman is something else. This woman is one of the best, and she is so informative and knowledgeable on the total workings and inner workings and complexities of the WHO. It's just literally unbelievable. Okay, people are falling out of their chairs. I'm reading some of the comments here. She spoke on Alex Jones and Maria Z. was with her along with her some of her followers. She hopes that she stays safe. They believe she's going to be assassinated. Um, they're really afraid that she's going to be killed, along with an Australian journalist with Z Media. They're um, very informative, very powerful. She was on Jesse Ventura Conspiracy Theory years ago, saying what has been happening the past few years was going to happen. It all came true exactly as she said it on Jesse Ventura, word for word, letter for letter, line by line. Came true, every single bit of it, and it's just totally amazing. But I want you all to think again about your jobs. I do, I really do. I want you to think about your jobs. All of your jobs going away. They're going to eliminate. They're going to eliminate 90% of the population by 2035, 2037. Y'all are going to be gone. Most of you are just going to be history. You're not even going to be here anymore. They only want to leave 10 to 15% of the lower class on the planet. They're eliminating all the rest. All of you are gone. Okay. And so love your children, your grandchildren, give them a little kiss, snotty nose little shits. Give them a little kiss while you can, okay? Because you're gone. And make sure they've got some sense to be able to survive in this very catastrophic situation that we're going to have to go through here. I'll be gone, of course. Chad will be gone. But love your kids and prepare them for what is coming psychologically, physiologically, spiritually, mentally, philosophically, conceptually, experientially. Prepare them esoterically, ontologically. Prepare them for what is coming. Because if you don't, you're doing them a disservice. You're doing them a great disservice. You're being very abusive if you do not prepare them for what is coming, especially psychologically. Because, when you're an astronaut, you have to go into this extreme training to be comfortable dying, be comfortable having your body just implode or explode or being lost in space and floating forever until you burn up and your body melts and your oxygen runs out. They go through these extreme things, and they also have cyanide pills they carry with them in the command modules that they can take in the event that something goes wrong and they just can't deal with it. They can just pop this cyanide pill or whatever, and bang, they're gone. And a lot of special ops units use this in the higher levels of the deep state. But what is coming is going to be so devastating and so shocking and so unbelievable and so traumatic that it's going to drive most people insane. It's going to drive most people crazy. And if I want you also to all watch the Handmaiden Tales. I want you to watch the Handmaiden Tales, and that will tell you about the divisions in the United States. They're going to divide the United States into 9 sections, 9 regions. The men are going to take over and the women are going to be subservient, and they'll be child bearers or they'll be caretakers, and they'll all be forced hysterectomies, and they'll be women that have the babies who are on the upper echelon. The upper echelons will be able to have the babies, and then the handmaidens will take care of their babies, and so forth. And it's going to be a really wicked kind of culty kind of thing that's coming. And like I said, the lower echelon will be techs. They'll be taking care of maintaining all of the machine intelligence around the world through these massive computers and these massive warehouses where actual avatars will sit and monitor everything that's going on in the world with supercomputers that are at 25,000 quadrillion bits of data per second coming in. So these people will just have to do some basic monitoring. Now they're already doing this at McDonald's, and they're doing it at Burger King, and they're doing it at Starbucks, and they're doing it at some WalMarts where they got people just sitting at home monitoring the computer, making the hamburgers at Walmart and the French fries, and making the shakes. And if something goes wrong, there's a little glitch or something, they'll fix it on the computer real quick at McDonald's. They have nobody in the McDonald's at all. Nobody's there. Nobody's home. You just go through the window, you order, the robot gives you your order, it's over. And Chad got close to something a while ago, which was the pod babies. They've been doing designer baby now since Valium was popular. As the Hollywood drug, as that diazepam was popular. Everybody was popping diazepam. Oh my God! I tried to get some. They wouldn't give it to me. But The pod babies are here now. And that came from the designer babies that they've been working on now with the rich and famous forever. Okay. And by the way, the rich and famous, they're immune to all of this stuff that's coming. They're immune to all of this toxins and poisons and pathogens and all this other shit. They're completely immune. If you didn't figure out by now, people have asked me, well, how are they? I don't understand why they're getting rid of us when how are they going to be able to survive and get, well, they don't look. Use your head, please. Use your head. Okay. If they can create another avatar, we're avatars. We're in a simulation right now. Okay. We're in a hologram. We're a dream. This is a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. If they can create this, and if they can understand this, and they can create, let's just say, basic GPT that's at 300, at three quadrillion parameters per second, then why can't they protect themselves from these little pathogens and little scary things? And well, it's easy. It's easy. It's easy. So and they've got look. These people. Bill, a friend of mine, Bill, he makes bunkers, top secret. Okay, he makes bunkers for the rich, for the I mean, it's super fucking wealthy. Okay, these people fly jets just to go pick up their mail. They have to hop in a Learjet. I mean, these people are fucking so ultra wealthy. It's unbelievable. They're spending 25, 27, $35 million on bunkers. He's backed up 7 years now. 7 years. I told Chad the other day it
Wow.
was 3 years. Chad knows it was 3 years the other day. He's backed up 7 years on these damn
Yeah.
things.
You was just
And
telling me
these
it's 3 years ago, not too
and
long
these
ago.
and these damn things are so deep and so wide and so luxurious. You can live in them for 5 years and never have to come out, man. You've got hydroponic gardens, you've got aquaponic gardens, you've got organic gardens, you got fresh water, you got fresh recirculated air. You've got these machines that create oxygen on their own. All this high tech stuff going on. Lighting is all good for you. The vitamin D is getting to you. You got plenty of food store. It's unbelievable, man. Now, let me tell you this: if the elites are spending this much money on these things, what makes you think we don't have a problem coming, Chad?
I know,
I mean,
right? That should be a big red flag. Like if they're paying millions upon millions of dollars just to build a bunker, what are they hiding from? That's the question you got to ask them. What are they hiding from? They're hiding from what they're using against us, which is the AI. Like look at the island in Japan. Okay, the island of Japan. Look, they have a whole town that's nothing but AI. Nobody works. Like they've already made the models. People, they are going to execute all of us. This is what they want. And all the rich are going to go underground and they're going to be laughing. They're going to be holding hands, singing kumbaya to themselves. And they come out, we're gone. That's what they're planning, in my opinion.
now you brought up something kind of interesting because the underground bases that we've discussed before, that I've taught on for many years, that people thought I was crazy until they started looking into it. Underground bases are all over the world, and they're highly staffed with thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and they've got special bases that do special things and create special things and are into special technologies. And they've got buses that take these people out, like at Area 51 over there in Groom Lake, and the 3-2 buildings and 3-4 buildings, 3-5 buildings that I've been near. They've got these buses that go out into the city and pick these people up, and they bring them in, and they blindfold them at a certain checkpoint. They put some kind of glasses on them or whatever they do to them, and then they take them in these gates, and then they go down and around, and then they go to this big block off looking place, and they have elevators there that are massive fucking elevators, and they put these people on elevators, and where they go nobody knows. Now, I've heard several different stories. Okay, I've heard that some of them work there, and I've heard that some of them are put in pods and they travel like 3,000 miles in 10 minutes. I mean, they're like boom, gone, and they're at work, and then they come back home, and they go back home to their kids and make dinner and go to PTA meetings. And I mean, this is the way it works. This is the way the CIA works because I was there. I mean, I know how they work. And these people don't know where they're at. They don't know where they went. They don't know how they got there, but they just know they're doing the job. They're getting paid, and it's top secret, and that's it. But the underground bases are one thing. that these elites are going to live in and control and command as they are now. But think about the let's just say let's just say $200 trillion that got lost in space. Now, what do you think they're doing up in space? Are you still in the mindset that there's this little space station running around, and the Russians and the Chinese and they're in there playing checkers with the United States, and they're all in there talking to NASA on a little walkie-talkie? Are you guys still in that mindset? Are you still ignorant? They've built massive fucking shopping centers. They've got fucking ships larger than the goddamn state of Texas up there. You think what do you think they're doing with 200 fucking trillion dollars? Playing with themselves? They've mastered anti gravity. Okay, they've mastered antimatter. They say, "Oh, we need to find out what dark matter is. We need to find out what antimatter is." That's ridiculous. This is that's fiction. They've gone so far above that that we don't even know what the fuck's going on. They're dealing with the galactic councils, baby. So they've got all this stuff figured out. So don't come on the show anymore and ask me, well, what about the elites? How are they going to get by with all this? And how are they going to live through? I don't want to hear all that shit. Chad?
Yeah, I agree. For one, why are we worried about how they're going to live when we should worry about how we're going to survive? That's the mindset that people are in. Well, how are they going to live? Whoa, whoa. First off, don't worry about the enemy. Why are we worried about the enemy? We need to worry about surviving, because as we see people, we're seeing that people today are barely surviving. Inflation is just a made up word that they created because we're actually in a depression. Okay. They are killing us, they are killing our jobs. I know good people that are homeless that work their ass off and still are homeless, and they put in 80 hours a week and they still can barely make ends meet. They are literally just going to boop. And the minute that we stop looking at them, and if we could get everybody to stop looking at these celebrities and these idols and all this nonsense and just take a look around them, and they will wake up real quick. They will see all the death that's walking around. They'll see all the zombies that we talk about that are walking the lands, just the mindless eaters. And like we was talking, like you was upset, and I ain't even gonna lie. Listen, I've only seen Kyler mad twice in my life, twice. Okay, and I've talked to Kyler for a while. I've only seen him mad twice. Right? He's mad at himself, and he's mad at everybody else. And the reason why he's mad at himself is because he's like me. He knows what's going on. We're trying to give it to people. We're trying to let people know what's going on, and nobody wants to listen to us. And two, as he was explaining to me, with this area that we're in, we could literally easily feed everybody in our community with our gardening, with rabbits and with chickens and all that. We could very easily feed our community. But the problem is here's what it is. Me and him could set up all this work. We could put in raised ground beds. We could get the chickens. We can get the rabbits. We can do the whole nine. But everybody around us is just going to want to take from us. Nobody wants to contribute to us because they look at us as threats. Because for one, we're knowledgeable. For two, we're very adamant about what we're doing. Like, people got to realize me and Kyler are putting our lives on the line, for one, just being on the talk show. For two, with us being the respite team that we are, and the fusion recovering agencies or agents that we are, listen, that makes that a very easy target for them to knock us off and to make it look like nothing happened. Like it was just something natural, organic that happened. Oh, we went out to that brush fire the other day, or that forest fire the other day.
Yeah.
They could have very easily trapped us in there.
Yeah.
They could have had two agents, the two guys that we met, Chad and Tom, great guys. But if they were deep agents, look at how easy they could have buried us in that house.
They could
And
have
it
just
looked
took
like we
us
got
off
burned
into
over.
the forest and shot us in the head and drug us off into the forest, and we would have never been found there. Never. We'd have never been found.
Nope.
And they could have just drove our car away and it would have vanished. We had it parked up on the road and nobody would have ever known. Well, we saw them here. They must have left. I don't know where they went. Maybe they went and got a 6-pack of beer. No, we're dead. But nobody knows. There's no police coming. There's no sheriff. There's no provost marshals. There's no FBI. And that's what Chad and I are under. Mary, we're under this danger of death all the time. Chad read. I actually read the assassination attempt letter on the air. And Chad was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy shit." I mean, there are people after us, and I haven't even showed Chad the other 12. I'm not even going to show him. He'll have a heart attack. This is too much for anybody. I wouldn't show it to anybody. These things, they're talking about chopping our bodies up in little pieces in the bathtub, and I mean, this is stuff that's just fucking insane. And then Marion and I have to deal with this. Mary cries a lot, and we watch our backs. We don't run around paranoid. Chad can tell you I'm not scared of the devil himself, but I mean we are careful. Like Chad and I, when we go out in public, we're scoping the joints out when we go in. We know where the exits are, the entrances. We're looking for any kind of odd behavior. It's really something to go out with us guys in public. It's really a trip, but it's very dangerous. Wait a minute, let me see if Mary's still alive. She looks dead. Oh my god, Jesus, scared me to death. She's like, I love you. I know. I thought you were
Love you,
dead.
producer.
I mean, where Chad and I are having this discussion about assassins, and I look over and she's like, and I'm
That's
like, oh my god, they shot her while we're in here. It's a front to scare me and Chad. They're gonna kill her in the RV when we were in here. We didn't even know they were here. Yeah, it's like,
damn noise canceling headphones. You know what I mean? We can't hear nothing, people.
I know they come in with a silencer to the door, and go.
Yep.
But anyway, folks, it sounds like we're a little paranoid, doesn't it? But we aren't paranoid. We're just careful, and we're fastidious, and we're very alert and conscious and oriented times four as to what the dangers are out there for not just us, but for all of you. Because very, very soon you will not be able to have any freedom of conversation at all, and it's going to be very uh, depressing. It's already depressing to me. I mean, I'm getting so depressed about it that it's affecting me in a terrible, terrible way. I told Chad the other day. Chad and I were talking the other day about, well, where do we go when we need help? Where we can't go to. I mean, I'd go to a Catholic priest; it'd be fine with me. I've even thought about going, saying, "Father, Father, I have sinned. Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm scared. Bless me, Father, for I'm scared." I mean, really, I'm serious. And don't y'all talk about the molestation. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to hear any more about your goddamn bullshit molesting priests and shit. Everybody's molesting goddamn everybody. Fuck. And it's just quit picking on the goddamn Catholic Church. I'm sick of all you motherfuckers. Sick of it. Picking on the goddamn Catholic Church. Fuck you. Some of the best people in the world are Christians. Some of the best people in the world I know are Muslims. Some of the best people I know are Buddhists. And some of the best people I know are atheists. And some of the best people I know are homosexual. Fuck you. And so, anyway, I got that out of my system. I wanted to throw you a few fuck yous, but um, this whole thing is just literally insane. And there's only one way, and that's what Chad said. Work on your community, work on your neighbors, work on yourself, work on your family. But the problem is, families are divided. Somebody talked to me. Families are divided. Neighborhoods are divided. Neighbors are divided. They hate each other. They don't trust each other. Your boss doesn't trust you. The bosses don't trust their bosses, and all of this has been done purposely. It's been done purposely. So we are so divided, we fall. A house divided will fall. A nation divided will fall. A family divided will fall. And that's been said over and over and over and over again. And unless we come together, I hate to say this. It sounds so stupid and corny. Unless we come together, it's over. I mean, it's over. I mean, I'm talking about over. You guys don't get it. You don't get it. It's over. And by golly, we're not going to come together. So it's over. But Chad and I'll be on the air until the last drop in the bucket, even if we have to communicate from the cave on shortwave radio, which him and I both know how to make with copper wires and a little spindle, and we know how to get a radio signal out with a little crank. But if we have to do that, that's what we'll do. And it'll be the end here pretty soon.
Yep.
Um, you know,
Listen, I'm going to be like Lance Armstrong powering that generator for our radio. You're going to see me pedaling a bike like him. Like I'm running the Tour de France.
reminds me of
Um,
Gilligan's Island. A professor was pedaling that bike and making the electricity.
yep. But yeah, see people like you got to understand. We understand our risks. We understand what we're stepping into, right? But you need to understand what you're stepping into and you don't even know it. Like you don't even know what you're stepping in. Like prime example, fast food. Yeah. Guess what? If you're in any kind of food service, you're out the business. You're in laundromat, they got machines that will fold and wash your clothes for you. You need anything delivered, they got drones that will do it for you. Oh, it's too big for a drone? We have big rigs that drive on their own. Listen, every job is done. There isn't a job that a robot or a machine can't do that we can. There isn't. People told me, oh, well, at least I know about robotics, so I'm going to be able to work on the robots. No, they are going robots. The AI itself is
They're
going to
self
build their own robot to
they're
be able to
self
work on that
assimilating,
robot. Yeah.
self maintaining, and they take care of themselves. And
Yes.
the only people will be doing a little keyboard work just to kind of keep the engines oiled. That's all. They'll have a few texts. They say this came straight from one of the richest women in the world's most powerful women in the world's mouth to a therapist who I can't tell you the contact, but this came straight from the horse's mouth. One of the most powerful women in the world uh, said that we're getting rid of 90% of the population. They're gone by 2035, 2037. They're gone, gone, all of them. And the lady was like astonished, literally astonished. And if you hear that Rumble message that Chad just put out and me, you'll hear her talk about who this lady is. Ha ha ha! Gotcha. Uh, it's right there in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear, I want to tell you something though. If you'll look up all the naturopathic and homeopathic doctors that have been killed, you'll be amazed at the photos that come up. I mean, they don't want any. They're not going to allow any homeopathic or any naturopathic medicine to exist. Okay, this new regime that's taking over will not allow anything that is non-synthetic. If it hasn't been created in the lab, it will not exist anymore. And this is why they're taking us away from nature. They're removing us from nature. You can't hunt. You can't hunt this. You can't hunt that. You can't use guns. You can't use rifles. You can't go in this forest. You can't go in that forest. You can't go on this beach. You can't go on that. They're removing us. They're removing us from nature. They're putting everybody in these smart cities. That's what the smart city agenda is, okay? They're moving everybody into these condensed areas where they can control them completely, like in Shanghai. Look at Shanghai, study Shanghai. Beijing, study Beijing, and look, that's what's happening here. They're going to completely eliminate everyone from the rural farm lands. That's why they're burning all the farmland down. Their tornadoes are coming through HARP and all that. They're getting rid of all the factories, all the distribution centers, all the slaughterhouses. They're getting rid of all these places. All of them are blowing up. Well, look, go on the internet. Don't listen to me. Go on the internet. How many trains have derailed in the last year? How many food plants have been blown up in the last year? How many distribution plants have been blown up in the last year? How many places have been hacked in the last year? Right now, they're hacking every major industry in the United States with ransomware. All the hospitals, all the school districts, all the major corporations, everybody. Military, Navy was hacked. China got everything we got. All the top secrets are gone. China stole every damn thing we've got and every damn thing we've had. Bye bye, it's gone. China's got it. They know our plans down to the T. They were listening to whispers. I mean, these guys in China, they're so smart. It's unbelievable. They've infiltrated all of our universities. They've been in our universities for years. Their cells, they're waiting. They're sleeper cells, and like Chad has said many times, these sleeper cells are everywhere. And I have a source that told me that they have planted explosives in places that are highly populated. All they have to do is take a cell phone and hit one button, and bang, 5,000 people are dead all
Well,
over the United States.
look at that. What was it? 160 tons of catalyst that was taken off that railroad car. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't think people realize how much explosive that was. 160 tons could easily level 3 or 4 cities. Well
yeah.
placed. And that's just with that chemical. That's not adding any I kind of got to watch what I'm saying because you know how they are. But it's not adding any other kind of accelerants to it. You know, any other chemicals or any other kind of powders or compounds to that. Now, if you would cut it the proper way, you could probably take out a third of the country with 160 tons of that chemical if you cut it right.
You know, China gave three little countries that I'm not going to mention tonight all this depleted uranium. Say, here, take it. Go ahead and just take all of it. It's extra. We don't need it.
Here you go.
And you know what? You depleted uranium, like Chad said the other night. I didn't even think about it. Depleted uranium is poison without it being in a bomb. I mean, you can do all kinds of things with depleted uranium that we're not going to talk about here. We're not chemists. We're not trying to give advice. Oh my God! And let me say, just for the record, we're not lawyers. We're not doctors. Although I do have a degree in emergency medicine, and but we're not giving legal advice or medical advice here of any kind whatsoever. Okay, we're not trying to do that. So we're just giving you our educated opinions on different things of various nature. Okay, but Chad had mentioned this depleted uranium and how you can do all kinds of nefarious things in the laboratory. Well, just think about all the other chemicals that have gone missing. Chad can tell you that these military bases, if you look and do the studies, they've been missing all kinds of deadly stuff. I mean, all kinds of toxins, all kinds of poisons, all kinds of gases, chemical agents, biological agents are all missing. They've gone missing. They don't know who's got it. They don't know where it is. You've seen on TV, like on Ryan, Ryan, the CIA guy,
Yeah.
going around trying to find something in this foreign country. Well, they've got this chemical and they're building a bomb and he's got to go and do all this stuff. Well, that's what's happening right now. There's agents scrambling all over the world.
Well, look when they moved
And
Plum Island in Texas.
yeah.
When they moved to Plum Island, people don't know what Plum Island is. Okay, people, Plum Island is the biggest biological weapons facility in America, in the United States, that has the deadliest pathogens ever. I'm talking like level 5 and all the way up to like level 8 shit you've never even heard of, stuff they're creating all the time. Well, they moved Plum Island down to Texas, and when they did, they lost a lot of their product. And this is known information. This isn't like, oh, well, you're being crazy. Go research it. Plum Island
I'll tell you.
loses.
I'll tell you something top secret, and you can't find it, but I'll tell you. Do you think the largest chip manufacturing is going on in Taiwan? Let me tell you where it's going on. You're gonna freak out. You're gonna laugh. Minnesota.
They say there's 2 plants here in America.
Minnesota
It's 2 plants
is
in America.
Minnesota. Yeah. And people say, "What? Minnesota? What the hell are you talking about? That doesn't sound very exciting." Well, it's not
Yeah.
supposed to sound exciting.
No. Well, look, everybody chases, and I'll give you some top secret stuff too. Everybody chases Area 51 when that's not even a base to really chase. It's Area 4, which is their top secret base. Area 4, people, not 51. And Area 52 that they created is another psyops to get you farther away from Area 4. This is how they do it. This is how they do it. This is like the perfect, ruse. Watch
Yeah.
this hand, but don't watch this one.
And I was telling Chad, Chad's seen a lot. Him and I have so much in common with our history, but he hadn't seen Wag the Dog yet, and he's going to look at it sometime in the next few days. Chad's going to freak out when he sees Wag the Dog. He's going to come back and go, "Oh my God, we've been talking about this shit for years. Oh my God, oh my God, Wag the Dog. Look at Wag the Dog. It's all happening right now. It's all happening right now. Wag the Dog with De Niro. I think he said De Niro
Yeah.
was in. I forgot.
1997 movie with
Yeah.
Robert De Niro in it.
Yeah, Wag the
Yes.
Dog. It's all a psyop, man. They want you to look this way when everything's going on over here. They want you to look that way when everything's going on over here. They want you to look up there when everything's going on down there, and they want you to look down there when everything's going on up there. They keep you so off balance that you don't know what's going on, and you're never going to know what's going on. All of these campaigns and all of this election stuff, I just want to choke y'all. I want to choke you. Presidents are appointed. They're not elected. My God, when am I going to be able to get this through your heads? You've been after me for years. You've been killing me. You've been calling me. You've been calling me names. You've been emailing me death threats. You've been, presidents. All these people are appointed. It's a game. Do you think they would let you ignorant son of a bitches elect the goddamn leader of the free world? Hell no. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you actually think they would let you retarded motherfuckers elect the goddamn leader of the free world when you can't even balance your goddamn checkbook? God Damn.
My favorite is the we got Democrats and we got Republicans. But wait a second, they were called the Democratic Republican Party. It's the same party, people.
Two
Nobody
wings.
realizes this.
Two wings on the same exact bird. It is simply a diversionary tactic. It's a psyop to keep everybody entertained. It's a dog and pony show. It's all theater. It's all scripted. It's all very well planned. Even Joe Biden falling down the stairs of the jet and falling down, it's all planned. It's all planned. Do you think they would let the free leader of the free world fall down anywhere? Do you
Three
think if they
times.
even thought he was going to fall down, they would let him go out of a room? Hell no, it's all planned. It's all planned. Everything is a psyop. I know Chad's even going, probably, what are you talking about, Kyle? My God, Kyle, you take it a little too far. No, it's all planned. It's all scripted. And this
Listen,
war, Chad
yeah,
never talked. One sec, Chad. We were talking, me and Chad. We figured it out, me and Chad. This whole fucking Ukraine thing, it's all psyop. Russia, and Chad mentioned something important. He goes, "Well, what about these people who are being killed?" I said, "They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck how many people are killed. It's a psyop. It's a diversion to bring in the reset, the new world order. If they can't do this war, they have to have this major world war to eliminate all everything and to erase the etch a sketch over the head. And then they have to have this fake alien invasion to bring in all the people will bow down and say, "Oh, please help us, please save us, oh my God." And then we'll worship you. Our government is going to help us. And then you'll say you'll do anything. You'll do anything. You'll forget about God. You'll forget about country. You'll forget about your own fucking children, and you'll just want to be saved. Just be saved. You know, the Bible says you'll ask rocks to fall on you and kill you. You'll ask, the moon will turn to blood, the Bible says. And this is all real shit that these people were thinking. These prophets, they knew what was coming. You know, Nostradamus knew what was coming. George Orwell, 1984, knew what was coming. All these gurus, and I have these visions. I know what's coming. And you better listen to these gurus, these sages, these master shias, these master teachers. You know, because we know what's coming. We know what's coming because we're living in the higher echelons of consciousness. We're not living down here in the lower monkey brain. Go ahead, Chad. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
but yeah, like I've been explaining for years now. Listen, people, what we see right now is Shakespeare. We're seeing the greatest play ever unfolded in front of your face. Now, what they got to do is we have this special word that we use here in America. Oh, democracy, democracy. Well, the thing about this is, okay, since everybody believes in this democracy, they have to kill it. They have to make democracy go away. And the only way that you can make any democracy go away is by a war. So this is what's going on. They have to kill democracy. It's the only way that they can get this in. And as Kyla says, war's going on. The alien invasion is going to come in. People are going to be bowing to the government. People are going to be doing things they never thought would be possible, asking the government to come save them. And they're all going to be stuck in the rat race. They're going to beg to be put in these enslavement camps. And who cares? And it's like this, honestly, as me and Kyla even talked about it, they could care less if every one of us go against it, right? They could care less. Why? They'll just create a new race. Remember, 30,000 kids in one building. They can generate 30,000 kids in 9 months in one building. What the hell
Yep,
do they need us for?
that's right. These pod babies. Look at the pod baby technology and say, you know what? I better look into this pod baby technology because it's here. It's now. I told you the designer baby thing has been going on for years, and I didn't finish it a while ago. They can create blue eyes. They can create purple eyes, green eyes. They can create big lips, small lips, long chins, high cheeks, whatever they want, whatever you want. Designer babies have been doing it forever. Okay. And that's for the wealthy, the filthy rich have been doing it forever. And now, pod babies, 40,000 at a time, 50 warehouses, 500 warehouses, 40,000 babies at a time coming in. You can talk to your baby, sing to your baby through a little weird microphone kind of thing, and they got tubes running in and out of this thing, this avatar. And then when it's time to birth, you open the pod up, go shoo, and you're able to take your little avatar out and take it back to your FEMA camp back to your back to your region. The wives I talked about earlier. The handmaiden tales. You're back. Go back to your region. One of the handmaids will go and take your baby from the pod and bring it back to the wealthy family in that region, whatever region it is of the United States. And you won't be able to cross borders. By the way, I didn't even mention that. With this new social credit score and this new digital passport, you won't be able to cross borders. You won't be able to cross your city lines. You won't be able to cross your county lines. You won't be able to go see grandma in Tennessee. You won't be able to go see your uncle in Florida. You won't be able to do shit. They're locking everybody down, baby. They're locking everybody down. Okay.
This is the true Fourth Reich.
Mhm.
And if people know about
Mhm.
the Fourth Reich, this is what they're ushering in. Right now, we're in the Third Reich. Nobody wants to talk about it. We're in the Third Reich right now, pushing for the Fourth Reich. They thought that the Third Reich ended when Germany supposedly fell, but then everybody forgets about Operation Paperclip and all that, the where it spawned it in us. It was just a ruse. World War II itself was a ruse. World War II itself was, to change the Axis powers, as I said, to give another country more popularity and put them on this pedestal and just create a fake charade. Um, and that's what's going on. The Fourth Reich is here. It's being pushed. Everything's going digital, including your DNA. Your DNA. Now think about it. There's technology now through the designer babies, as Kyler talks about, that they can get a full grown human. Like I'm 38 years old. They could clone one of me in 9 weeks. 9 weeks. I could be looking exactly like I am. My body be up to 38 years old. But now think about it. They could knock me off, put that designer baby in there in my place, and you guys would never even know. You would never even know it wasn't me because it's going to be programmed with every single thing I said, every action that I did. But they're going to have it to where I don't do that stuff no more. They're going to make me twist it up. And that's how they're going to do it. They can literally get rid of each and every one of us and recreate a new one and not worry about nothing.
And
This is
remember,
the true Fourth Reich.
remember the Anunnaki who came and added the telomeres to the end of the helix and gave us the
Yes.
120-year lifespan instead of a 600 or 6,000-year lifespan. Remember the telomeres. Look at the telomeres.
Yeah.
Look at the glial. Look at the glial. Look at the glial cells that clean up your nasty habits at night. Look at some of the other shows Chad and I have done. Look at some of this stuff concerning the neurons and the synaptic process and the electrochemical process in the cerebral cortex and the frontal cortex, the limbic system. Look at all these things. And something that's hard to imagine. And Chad, Chad still slips every now and then. Is talking about humans. Humans. We're not humans. We're avatars. So you guys need to understand. You're a dream within a dream within a dream. You're a hologram. You're not. You're not physical. You're not material. Everything you're looking at, everything that is 99.999% empty space. Empty space. Empty space. You're nothing but an illusion. You're compressed energy into these waveforms that become what we illusion as to be particles at the Planck length, and below the Planck length we can see at the subatomic level these things. They manifest as molecules, and then atoms manifest as molecules, molecules manifest as organs, organs manifest as what you're seeing here, which is animated, okay, in the energy field. But this is a avatar, and this is a simulation we're in, creating a simulation. This is something that's so hard for people to keep that thought pattern going. We always go back to human or person or you all, or we got to stay in the avatar area. We got to understand this is a simulation creating a simulation. We got to stay on that track.
Yeah. I agree. I see where I mess up. And yeah, you're all right. When we get away from that track, we see things different. You know what I mean? You put the blinders back on when you don't look at it as an avatar.
And let me
That's a
mention
dangerous game.
and let me mention one important thing here. Now that we brought that up, and this is going to scare you, but it's also going to enlighten you. The reason the elite, so-called elite, the powerful, the ultra powerful, the ultra wealthy, the controllers, the handlers, the global masters. The reason they're winning, this is breaking news, by the way, y'all. I just had a download. The reason they're winning is because they realize we're in a simulation and they have figured out how to control the simulation within the simulation. They have become the anti-particle Neo. I am the positive particle Neo. Chad is the positive particle Neo. They are the negative antimatter Neo, dark matter Neo. They know how to control the system. The reason they're winning is they're not like you ignorant son of a bitches who believe in heaven and hell and deities and God and angels and all this other stupid shit. They know that that shit doesn't exist. And so why would they worry about killing you or your children or 50 million or 100 million people, 300 million people, wiping them out? Why? What does it matter? They're avatars. It's a game. Bow, 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 bow. Yes, yes, yes. I got 30 points. Bow, 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 bow. 500 points. Ah, bow, 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 bow. They don't care. It's a game. It's a game. People come on the show and they start talking about God and oh, we're going to bless this and pray for that, and we need to all come together and sing kumbaya. No, fuck all that. They don't give a shit about all that. That's why we're losing. That's why these communities are falling apart. Church, religion is killing us. Religion is killing us. Religion is ruining this country. We need to abolish all religion. If you're going to be a warrior, you're going to be a fighter, you're going to be a special ops killer, you're going to go out there and kill the dragon, kill the monster, you're going to have to forget about religion. There is no religion. There is no God. Jesus is not coming to save you. He's not coming back in his sleigh there riding with Santa Claus and the reindeer. He's not coming back to sit on the Mount of Olives. That's all bullshit. Adam and Eve's bullshit. Talking snakes are bullshit. Little farts
Now
coming
look,
out of donkeys' asses are bullshit.
we seen
Angels,
Jesus
deities are
Christ last
bullshit.
night, bro. We
We
seen
think
Jesus Christ
we've
last
seen
night.
we met Jesus. Actually, I actually held hands with Jesus
Yeah,
last
I
night.
got a fist bump and Jesus bummed a cigarette off me last night. You know
Yep,
what I mean?
yep.
So listen, Jesus is here and he ain't doing nothing. He's at the bar like the rest of us. He's looking at everybody like, what the fuck are you doing? It's
I know.
exactly what he's doing.
See, religion is probably one of the top 10 psyops in the world. Okay, they invented religion to keep everyone in submission and bondage and slavery. They invented religion to keep everybody dumbed down and concentrated on this one literalism of monotheism, which is completely ridiculous and stupid. Okay. In order to get a full range of all of this, you need to go back to the Hebrew and the Sanskrit and the Babylonian and the Syrian, and you need to go back to the Aztec and the Mayan and the Hopi, and you need to read all the secret society books and the secret book of Paul, the secret book of Mary. You need to read the book of Enoch and the Bhagavad Gita and the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Lotus Sutra, like I have. And then you need to gather all this information in, and then you move into your higher consciousness, and then you start to see what's really going on. And this is called an awakening, the Great Awakening, or Nirvana, or Brahman. And then you learn. See, I've studied 5 forms of martial arts. I've been meditating for 20 years. I've been to Tibet. I have sat with the monks. I pounded the rice for a year to get into the Zen monk, to get a Zen master. I became a Zen master, but I had to work for it. I had to work for it. None of you have worked a day in your life. When it comes to raising your own consciousness, none of you have worked a day in your life. What is that?
The Lotus. The
Oh,
book
the
you
Lotus
wrote.
Sutra. The Lotus Sutra. Yes,
Yeah.
the Lotus Sutra. That's the famous Lotus Sutra. Yeah, yeah, it's a hard book to read. Not quite as hard as Friedrich Nietzsche, but it's very difficult read, and you really have to concentrate. But religion is a psyop. It's a major psyop, and people have been poisoned. Their brains have been poisoned with religion, and this is the greatest terrible. Oh my God, this is the greatest destructive thing that's ever happened to humanity.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
think about it, people. Religion tells you not to fight back. It tells you turn the other cheek, not to do this, not well, no, wait a second. Somebody trying to take out my family. Somebody trying to take out my friends. I'm not going to hit my knees. Oh, please, God, save them. I'm going to save them.
I've had people come on this show and tell me, men. I've had men on this show that have told me that if some man came into their window and was raping their wife and they had a gun, they wouldn't shoot him because God's going to take care of it. They would just pray over him. How stupid, how ignorant, how dumb. I've talked to so many people, including, I can't say, too close to me, not Marion, but some close to me,
Yeah.
that God will take care of it. We're not going to do anything. We're not supposed to touch it. We're not supposed to deal with it. We're not supposed to think about it. We're not supposed to. God will take care of it. God will take care of it. God will take care of it. Why? If God will take care of it, look around the news and just tell me what's going on in the world.
When's he going to take care of it? It's my question.
When
If
is
that's
he
the
on
case,
vacation? Is he on vacation, or did he just what? What happened? Did he fly off
did
with
he
a?
smoke a little too much, and he's asleep, got the munchies and passed out for a couple
You
thousand
know,
years?
read Ezekiel, all the ET presence in Ezekiel, Samuel, Genesis. Look at the book of Enoch. Look at all of these other books. Read the book of Solomon. Look at all the extraterrestrial presence when the Anunnaki was there. The Anunnaki. Look when they were there and what they did. They provided ships. They provided technology. They provided medicines. They provided everything. Cosmetics. They provided language, mathematics. All of these things came from the super beings, the sky people, which are Yahweh, Yeshua, Elohim. These are all sky people, sky people, sky people. All of you have to get out of this mind fuck of religion. It will do nothing for you or your children. It will just keep you bogged down. I talked to a couple of churches recently, and they're all like, "Well, we're just praying. We're just praying. I don't want to talk about. We can't talk about that in Sunday school. They ran me out of the Sunday school class. We can't. Oh, oh no, you're the devil. We can't. Oh my, we're praying. We're in here praying. We're in prayer. Well, okay, lock yourself in that tomb and just cement the door up because you're gonna die in there praying. I'm going out here and fight. you know, and that's the whole thing is we need to fight. And under the Constitution, under the old Constitution that has been kind of used as toilet paper now, we have the right to abolish this government.
Well, rephrase that. We have the duty. Like that's a bigger word. Yeah, we have the right, but no, we actually have the duty. That is something that we have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And this is how people are downplaying it. I know you're not because you're on the same level as I am with this mental stuff. But it's just people use that as an excuse. Oh, well, we have the right to enlist, but we're going to hand you our guns. Now, how does that make any sense? The
yeah,
tree of liberty needs refreshed with the blood from the patriots. In other words, it needs, and that's a saying that you kill tyranny. You literally put the blood of the tyrannical tyrants on the tree, on the soil. This is what it's saying. This is our duty. And we are not doing our duty. Well, we are, but most people aren't doing any of their duties. They want to hit their knees and live on their knees. Well, Kyler and I are the type that we will die on our feet before we live on our knees.
yeah. That's right. That's truly, truly right. Um, I would tell you all that I would start again. I want to encourage all of you to start preparing for a possible blackout. This is coming to me from many, many different sources, including open sources, media. They're terrified now for a blackout is coming, and this is the Black Swan event. Is really what I'm afraid of. Is the Black Swan event? Y'all can look that up yourself. The Black Swan event, I feel like, is going to happen here. Now, they may be trying to avoid the Black Swan event for various economic and political reasons. They may be kicking that can down the road a little bit, a little too drastic to bring a Black Swan event in right now. They're going to try to do it in other ways, but they definitely are going. They are doing it. Okay, they are doing it now, and I would advise you all to prepare the best you can through personal training, exercise, proper nutrition, proper sleep, proper thinking, lock and load, learn to use weapons, whether they're nunchucks, baseball bats, knives, whatever, ice picks, whatever you've got, toothpicks. I can kill somebody with a fingernail file. But I mean, that's me. Okay. But you need to prepare and you need to get beans and rice, like Chad said the other night. Get a 20-pound bag of beans, 20-pound bag of rice, 25 pounds. store it away. Just start storing stuff away and put it up and hide it because you're going to need it whenever the civil disturb. I'm worried about civil disturbance. I'm worried about civil uprising. See, among all this other stuff that's going on, we could have something kind of pop out like we wasn't expecting it. Like none of us, not even the government. We could have these people go, "Oh my God, we're going to do a bank run," and say if people start rioting, all the banks start closing, and then other people catch on. It becomes collective psychotic. Everybody's collective psychosis, and now everybody goes crazy. It's like the
Mob
hundredth monkey.
mentality.
It's the hundredth monkey theory.
Yeah.
It just spreads like a cancer, and then everybody starts rioting, and then all the gang members start going in to get for the kill. They're cleaning up. They're cleaning up behind the rioters, and then you have all these other motherfuckers coming in. And then you have the military coming in. Then you have police coming in. And you have and then it just goes fucking crazy. And the government. This is something really the government doesn't want. They really don't want this. They'd rather just silently let us all drop dead with heart attacks from the bioweapon. But I'm afraid civil disturbance is almost inevitable. And not a revolution. I'm talking about just an explosion all of a sudden where people just go, fuck this shit. Oh my God, our money's being frozen. And, everybody goes crazy. And that's more dangerous than a fucking nuclear bomb, dude. Because you got zombies running everywhere, molesters. They're going to kill, rape, maim, murder, chop up, slice, dice. I mean, it's going to be horrible. And that's what's real. We're real close. We're just this close to that. We're this close to that happening. So I would advise you to be prepared, and I'd advise you to get ready and get those beans, get that rice, and get those dry goods and weapons and survival gear and bug in and bug out packs ready and trauma kits ready for first aid. Study some first aid, study some CPR. Learn like me to take out a bullet or put in a chest tube or sew somebody up, even if it's with needle and thread, just like they do in the movies. It's fine. Just use plenty of hydrogen peroxide and alcohol and and learn some stuff and take what we're saying here as seriously as you possibly can, because if you look at my predictions over the last 20 years, I haven't missed a one. I have a 100% rate of perfection with every prediction I've ever made. I'm not calling them prophecies. They're simply predictions based on intellectual experience and intelligence and analytics and research and study. Okay, I'm not some guru. Okay, I'm not some I'm just saying intelligence, experience, research, going out into the world, being an agent, being an operative, doing all these black ops things, doing all these special missions. I've learned a lot of things about what's coming. Okay, and you can take that from me. You should be able to take wisdom from us, from Chad and I. You should be able to receive that, and you should be able to act on that. And the
I
last
hope.
good thing I'll say, and then I'll turn it over to Chad for the rest of the show. Don't forget that we still have a chance here. Chad and I are not saying don't stop visualizing perfection. Don't stop visualizing utopia. Don't stop visualizing that healing, and don't stop visualizing love and synchronicity and balance and harmony. Please don't stop. Please don't stop. But at the same time, I would hope for the best and I would expect the worst. Go ahead, Chad. You finish it out. I'm tired.
Yeah, I agree with Kyler, especially on that one. Hope for the best, expect for the worst, because when you do that, you're never, you're never in trouble because you're always prepared for, anything. And I'd rather be over prepared than under prepared. And that's the truth. And yeah, for the people that actually are up on it and know what's going on, listen, people, we need you to like, share, subscribe. If you can donate, get a hold of us, donate some money, because when the shit goes down, I'm telling you, we're the ones that are going to be going out. It's not going to be your police. It's not going to be your firemen. We are the ones that are going to be going out. We are the ones that are going to be saving people. We are the ones that are going to be doing like all that. We're the ones that's going to put our lives in jeopardy to save, somebody else's life. You know, if you could throw, some money our way, donate us. We're looking for a boat. We need a boat for a search and rescue. We're in desperate need of a boat right now. If you know anybody in our area that can donate us a boat, we would love that. Anything helps. If you got extra medical supplies that you can donate to us, please donate to us. Get a hold of us. We're out trying to save lives, and every little bit that you give us gives somebody else a better chance in life. I mean, that's what we are, people. I know I hate begging for stuff, but This is where we're at. We're a true nonprofit organization. It's not like that we can go out and do stuff and make all kinds of multi-million deals like all these other organizations do. No, we're a nonprofit because our money goes directly to the people that need it. We're not pinching off the top. We're not skimming off the top. But people, we do need help. There's only a couple of us that are doing it. We do need some kind of financial
We
or
we
material help.
we don't even spend any money on ourselves, and I'm mad at that. Chad and I are married. We walk around like hobos. We don't even think about ourselves. I mean, the biggest treat we might have is to go to Sizzler once or twice a month. Chad and I marry or something, or Red Lobster. I mean,
Or go
that's a big
to
deal. That's
grocery
like a
store
big
and get a
deal.
Twinkie or something. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like a
Chad's not
Hostess
going
cupcake.
to. He's not going to Red Lobster because he can't stand seafood, and that pisses me off about him. I just want to slap him
They sell
sometimes.
steaks. They
But
sell steaks. They're
okay,
good.
okay, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. And we'll go to Outback Steakhouse then because I love prime rib. I love
Perfect.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just good fun. And they got the best prime rib. Oh my God, that stuff melts in your damn mouth.
Blooming onion.
Oh, blooming onion, yeah, and ranch
Yeah.
dressing. I love their mushrooms, fried mushrooms, and dip them in that ranch. Oh man, it's unbelievable.
But
But
yeah,
speaking
people, we're
of,
just asking for help. That's all we
yeah,
need.
yeah, and we're going to be doing. Chad and I are still going to do a cooking show, and we may even, if we get this garden going, and I don't have a fight with my landlord and they kick us out of here, we're going. Chad and I are going to do a community garden, even if it's small. However, we can get by with it. We'll film all that. We're going to be filming a lot of stuff. We're going to be doing some. Well, our friend Billy's doing movies. Hell, why can't Chad and I do a little documentary? I mean, he's doing 6 movies now. Our friend in Hollywood,
Something
Austin
like that.
actually, but we could do some documentaries. We're still going to do a little fishing show clips and do some cooking stuff, and we'll film the garden when it's being put up. We'll film some of the raised beds that are going in, and try. So if we get chickens and rabbits, we'll film them coming in. It'll be fun. Those prepping shows are getting hits because people love to see that kind of shit going on. Actually, setting up your prep, doing your prep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm worn out here. Anything else that you got, Chad? Take it away. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I love you, and
Yep.
we're
One thing. I just want to say one thing before we go. Listen, like I stress all the time, your loved ones, call them. People that you haven't talked to in a long time, please get a hold of the people you haven't talked to in a long time because I'm telling you, these people that you haven't talked to in a long time, society's probably beating the hell out of them right now in the alley. Please reach out to your friends, reach out to your loved ones, start connecting back, with your family, get the family units back on, because then we can start trusting each other again.
yeah, I agree 100% that we need to do that. I mean, you know, it's long, long overdue, and we need to come together. And even with all the mind control and all the psyop and stuff going on, you can still override some of that with your intuition and your creative thinking, and you still have critical thinking going on. And there's still ways to reprogram your brain. Listen to the show we did last night about the Khalil cells and cleaning out and vacuuming out all the habits that we have and things like that. Read about the brain, right brain, left brain, emotions, and the bilateral brain and the complete brain, mind brain connection. We've done all those shows. And we love you all. Like I said, may the force be with you all. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes and ears open. And definitely never fear. Never fear. And may the source, whoever or whatever that may be, follow you down your path and go with you, walk with you. Y'all take care. We'll see you Monday night, and we'll see you this weekend on a lot of other shows, which we'll be posting. Bye bye.